This rabbit had its legs amputated by humans for use in experiments. It looked over at the raccoon just thrown into the cell and offered words of comfort. The raccoon's eyes were filled with gratitude. Humans in their quest for evolutionary experiments altered the bodies of animals, installing various mechanical parts inside them. The raccoon trembled in fear, but the walrus reassured it no need to be scared. "We won't hurt you." The sea otter picked up a tissue and gently wiped the raccoon's wounds, which brought a small warmth to its heart. Over time they became good friends, playing together in their cell, gazing up at the ceiling, longing for freedom. The sea otter dreamed of escaping and thought that if they did they would need names, because all they had were numbers. So the sea otter gave itself a pretty name, Layla. The walrus with its two big tusks was called Tusk. The rabbit with its simple thoughts named itself Floor, since it lay on the ground.
You're lying on the floor, so your name is Floor?
When they asked the raccoon for a name, it spoke of its wish: "I want to fly a rocket and take us all out of here." So it was named Rocket. One day Rocket was taken to the experiment room by the leader to witness the evolution process. They placed a turtle into the experimental chamber and started the machine. The turtle's body began to expand. Soon it completed its transformation from an animal to a human-like figure, but became extremely aggressive. That was the problem. What they needed was a docile creature. Failed experiments were burned in a fire. Rocket, being sharp, figured out the mistake. It was the white smoke leaking from the chamber that caused the failure. Following Rocket's advice, they tried again. This time the experiment was a success. The animals were no longer aggressive. They finally created the product they had been dreaming of. The leader was in disbelief. He couldn't understand how the raccoon knew the answer to a question they had all missed. Determined to study the wisdom Rocket had shown, they decided to dissect its brain. Back in the cell, Rocket was collecting parts off the floor and told its friends, "Tomorrow our lives are over. We need to find a way to escape." Soon Rocket had gathered a pile of parts and put them together to form an access card. It told its friends, "If we make it to the exit, we can fly out of here in a spaceship." Floor spun around excitedly. Rocket had become their only hope. It swiped the access card and freed Layla. The two embraced warmly, but before they could celebrate, gunfire rang out, dropping their hearts. The leader had anticipated Rocket's escape. Even in its final moments, Layla yearned for freedom. Watching its friend lose life, Rocket let out a heart-wrenching scream. Floor screamed for Rocket to run, but Rocket stood frozen, unable to move. The leader taunted it. In a burst of fury, Rocket lunged, slamming the leader to the ground. With sharp claws, it tore the leader's face apart. Just then the guards arrived. Rocket grabbed a gun and shot them down. When it went to rescue the others, it found them already felled by bullets. Watching its friends die one by one, Rocket's heart was torn to shreds. It took their hopes with it as it escaped the cell. Running from the pursuit, Rocket reached the spaceship, leaping into the cockpit. With practiced hands, it started the ship and flew away, leaving the horrors of the lab behind.